Yo, what is going on, you guys? Bashtian here, and today we're going to be checking out together the best budget Eldlich deck profile out there. Now, I just want to go ahead and say this right now. I picked up the entire Eldlich core for like 25 bucks, 30 bucks max. And this deck is actually super freaking crazy. Like, the amount of value you get out of $30. If you're looking to pick up structure decks to be your first deck, I think that's definitely going to be the wrong way to do it at this point. I think you should probably just pick up the Eldlich deck. If you're going to be new into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if you're going to be or just learning to play the deck or overall interactions, I think Eldlich is going to be the best deck for you guys. So let me explain why though. So Eldlich is a reactive control deck, which when you're finding out your play style I think it's good to start off with a control deck just because it helps you learn overall interactions. Whereas combo decks are, don't get me wrong, they're a lot of fun. I love and I enjoy playing them as well. But learning to play a reactive deck helps you understand not only over basic interactions, but it helps you understand what other decks are trying to do in the meta, what the end game of other decks are trying to accomplish, what the bottleneck effects are, what to negate, what not to negate, and when to negate, what not to negate, or what to negate. So if that wasn't too confusing, sorry about that, but essentially what I'm trying to say is it helps you learn a deck, or it helps you learn what other decks do. So I think Eldlich is going to be one of the better decks to go ahead and learn the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall to begin with. And not only that, I mean, if the barrier to entry for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is extremely high, so to play a deck, you don't need any type of crazy expensive staples. You don't need Power Prosperity, it's nice, but you don't need Power Prosperity, you don't need Ash Blossoms, you don't need Nibiru's, Imperms, you don't need Forbidden Droplets, you don't need Lightning Storms, things like that. You need to protect against Lightning Storms or something else. I think the most expensive card in the entire deck that you may need is going to be Solemn Judgment, but I found a way to go ahead and play without Solemn Judgment, which is something that is really interesting as well. But it's something that if you do have Solemn Judgments, but I think the least expensive common right now is like $7. That's something that I would definitely recommend investing in, just because you definitely want to go ahead and play around spell and trap hate, such as Harpy's Feather. Harpy's Feather Duster would pretty much not annihilate the deck, but it would hurt a lot. It definitely hurt a lot to this deck. Lightning Storm will hurt a lot. Cosmic Cyclone hurts, depending on the card that it's hitting. Again, this deck, and also another card that you are going to want to pick up if you're going to be playing Eldlich, is going to be Skill Drain. Now, this deck does not play Skill Drain, so it's going to be pretty much the most budget Eldlich deck profile you're ever going to see. I think 25-30 bucks for the core, and then another $10 just for random commons and staples that you could potentially use. But it's going to be the most budget Eldlich deck profile you're ever going to see, and it's not even including what the value you're getting with the Megatons. So I'll get into that more in just a little bit, guys. But if you guys do enjoy these types of budget deck profiles, let me know by smashing that like button, and subscribe for more videos like this, guys. If you guys do enjoy the more budgety deck profiles, I know that some of you guys are more in tune with competitive deck profiles. We've been working on some of those as well, but I want to get the budget players a little bit of love. So let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile. Alright guys, so normally I have it, sectioned off, monster, spells, traps, but realistically, like, you're only playing 3 monsters in the entire deck, 3 Eldlich the Golden Lord. I wanted to get the alternate art version, but I mean, this was, well, rightfully, I guess, the least expensive version by like a few cents. So I was like, alright, well, I'm going for a budget build. Is going to get the most budget cards possible. So Eldlich the Golden Lord is pretty much the only monster you're going to need in your entire deck. If you want to play Lord of the Heavenly Prison, that is a card that just got reprinted as a prismatic rare in the Megatons, so that's something you can definitely go ahead and pick up. And it's actually not that expensive either. It's probably like $1.50 to $2. So it's something that's definitely a good investment if this is a deck you are going to want to proceed with. But again, this is just more of a starter-based model. Eldlich the Golden Lord brings itself back from the graveyard for free. Essentially, all you gotta do is send a spell trap you control to the grave, and you can also send it in a spell trap in your hand to pop a card your opponent controls. So Eldlich is just a really good card overall. And the reason you want to play it at 3 is because, well, first of all, it's a budget version, so you want to maximize on this guy. But something that does suck is when your Golden Lords get DD crowed, and then you don't have any more Golden Lords left. So I would definitely say, if you're going to be playing this budget version, definitely go ahead and play 3. If you're going to be playing the Lord of the Heavenly Prison version, which runs, well, 6 monsters instead of 3, so it's, I would probably cut this down to 2, but it's something that we can explore in the Larry deck profile. So 3 copies of Eldlich the Golden Lord. I want to make sure it's in frame. Yes, it is. Next, for the spells, we play 3 copies of Cursed Eldland. Continuous spell, really fantastic spell actually. So it lets you pay 800 life points to search an Eldlich or a Golden Land, Eldlich monster, or a Golden Land spell trap from your deck to your hand. So really good consistency piece. You can activate each and every single turn. 3 copies of Eldlich of the Black Awakening, which pretty much lets you special summon in your Golden Lord from the deck or hand, which pretty much means you're playing 9 copies of Eldlich the Golden Lord if you want to think about it, because this can search Golden Lord and this can special summon Golden Lord from your deck. So you're really not losing out on much, and even this is not really a dead card, because in the event that you don't have any more copies of Golden Lord left in your hand, you can just set this and use it for Golden Lord's effect for either effect. So it's really good to go ahead and have that as well. Now for more consistency, we play 3 copies of the Pot of Extravagance. So Pot of Extravagance, yes, I think this is the prismatic from the 2020 Megatin pack, but essentially it has been reprinted as a common as well. So I think these are like $1.50s to go ahead and pick these up, but I would highly recommend it, because you don't need your extra deck, and having as many traps in your hand as possible is probably going to be the best way to win with Eldlich. And next for the 3 cards that I think are a lot of fun, 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Reasoning. So Foolish Burial, to go ahead and send your Golden Lord, again another way to search it, gives you 10 copies. Called by the Grave, just because it's a fantastic card to definitely go ahead and play. Also, Upstart Goblin's like a $7 card, so, you know, let's not play that. Reasoning is actually a really fun card. I did not really consider this to be an optimal card to play initially, but when I was thinking about it, I'm like, realistically, if you're going to be sending a lot of your Golden Land or Elixir or Eldlich cards to your graveyard, your spells traps, you're going to be gaining a lot of advantage from them anyway, because during the end phase, you still get to activate their effect set more from your grave. So, if this is the first card that you activate in the entire duel, I think you're going super plus, just because with Reasoning, your opponent's not going to assume you're playing Eldlich to begin with, so they probably might think level 2 for sprites, or I don't know what, I personally in this current form I would guess level 2. Or maybe like a level 4 if you want to counter like Sky Strike or things like that, but I would not guess Eldlich firsthand. It's a free way to get Golden Lord on the field, and a free way to go ahead and gain a lot of advantage and a lot of cards in the graveyard, which pretty much gets your whole engine running. So that's going to be it for all the monsters and spells in the entire deck, guys. Really no more are necessary. Now it's going to be straight traps from here on end. So next we play 3 copies of the Sanguine, 3 copies of Huakiro, and 3 copies of Conquistador. So, in order, Sanguine lets you special summon the Golden Lord from your deck. Huakiro lets you banish a card from either graveyard, and Conk lets you pop on the field. So really good overall. And then they also have another effect during the end phase, which is kind of set each other from the deck. So really good. They all play really well together, and that's why Reasoning is so good as well. 1 copy of Golden Land Forever, because it's a counter trap you can search whenever you need, so you're really not going to be busting this card out each and every single turn, but it is nice to have as well. Next for the Floodgates, we play 3 copies of Rivalry of the Warlords, and that's, I believe, the only Floodgate we currently play in the entire deck. There's really not much more necessary than that. Rivalry of the Warlord is a phenomenal... If you could only play 1 Floodgate, I think Rivalry of the Warlord is definitely going to be it at this point. It prevents Sprite from going into their totally awesome plays, just because you summon Sprite Blue. Okay, flip Rivalry, you can control Thunders. So then they can't summon out their Aqua monsters. If they can't summon out Aqua monsters, then they can't summon out their totally awesome. So pretty much it halts a lot of the deck's power. And same thing with the tier elements. They won't be able to go into their plant fusions. They won't be able to go into their other weird type of combo play pieces, things like that. Especially if they're going to be starting off with like a punk card, like a Psychic. You just flip this and say, okay, now you can't summon any of your Aquas. So overall, Rivalry of the Warlord is a phenomenal Floodgate, and it's the only one that we play, so it's really all that's necessary. Next, for the Negations, we play 3 Lost Wind and 3 Solemn Strike. So Solemn Strike, of course, is pretty much a standard staple at this point. Negates monster effects, pay 1500 life points, which is not that bad. Lost Wind, I really want to go ahead and put in here because of Reasoning as well. So in the event your opponent special summons a monster, I believe from the extra deck. So if this card's in your graveyard and your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you just can set this card right back from your graveyard onto the field. Just banish it when it leaves the field. So make sure you do remember that. But Lost Wind, I think, is a phenomenal card, honestly, to be able to play if you're going to be playing Reasoning in your Eldlich deck. And next for the final cards of the deck, 3 Torrential Tribute and 3 Dogmatic Punishment. So this is the only reason that you are going to need in your extra deck the Elder Entity Ints. just because you are going to want to get that double pop more often than not, of course. And then the 3 torrential tributes, just because torrential tribute is the god card essentially. I mean, just be able to flip this over at the very end of a tier element play when they've already activated all their fusions. Then you just flip this, and then then they're kind of screwed from there. So torrential tribute is really, really good against that. And then if you're able to flip this against the sprites right before they summon, they're totally awesome, because they would need the 2 frogs on board in order to do so. Again, this just destroys their entire board, which I think is really, really good as well. So torrential tribute is definitely an overlooked card, and all these are like commons, or I mean, this comes in common as well. I just have the supers and the 1 prismatic. But pretty much each and every single card in this entire deck is extremely budget, guys. And I'm gonna have an extra deck up here on the screen for you guys as well, which really not too crazy. Like I said, as long as you have the Super Doras and the Gustav Maxes and 3 copies of Elder into the Ints, and I think maybe Pleiades if you want to go that route. That's something you can definitely go ahead and do, but essentially let's go ahead and try to keep it simple. By playing 3 copies of all of these extra deck monsters, you pretty much have already your 15 card extra deck from there, and because you're playing Pot of Extravagance, you're really not worried too much about the extra deck as well. So overall, that is going to be it for the deck profile, guys. It's a 40 card Eldlich deck, I believe between $40 and $45 to go ahead and build the whole thing. If you want to include extra deck, maybe $50 to build each and build everything, and you even get some high rarity bumps here and there for $50. So overall, this is gonna be the best budget deck out there at this point. Probably only behind the Mystic Mind Burn, but I really do not want to build that deck whatsoever, because I just want to make sure everyone knows about it, but I don't want to build it and give anyone else new ideas. So if you guys want to see how it works, go ahead and check out my top 5 budget decks of the current format. It should have been 1 or 2 videos ago that I uploaded that. So another thing you guys have been requesting as well is for me to do like test hands or combo videos. So I'm gonna do a quick shuffle right here, just to go ahead and get the ball rolling. I know this is not necessarily a power shuffle, but you know, it is what it is at this point. I just want to make sure that it is out of whack, and then we'll do a quick test hand just so you guys can go ahead and see what the deck can really do and what it's capable of as well. So just to shake things up, and then we'll actually give it a quick shuffle. Alright guys, so we've been shuffling for a while now, so we should be good to go ahead and see what our first opening hand will be. Shuffle it real quick, cut ourselves as well. Let's go ahead and draw 5 cards. We got Golden Land Forever, nice. We got Rivalry of the Warlords, Cursed Eldland, Conquistador, and now we have a Lost Wind. So I want to say first things first, right? We're gonna go ahead and activate our Cursed Eldland. I'm gonna go ahead and activate the effect of Cursed Eldland to pay 800 life points, which then allows us to search. Let's see, what should we search? We can search an Eldlich monster or a Golden Land. We already have Conquistador. I would say go ahead and search a Golden Lord to have in our hand. Alright, so you can go this route, or you can search a Huaquero to have. And let's see, we did not activate Extravagance, so we still have a full extra deck. Right, so then what I would do is, because this card is kind of useless at this current point, it would actually be perfectly fine to go ahead and setting the Rivalry, the Lost Wind, right? There we go. Rivalry, Lost Wind, and the Conch and the Hawk. So this is still in your hand, right? So you have the Rivalry to prevent your opponent from doing anything crazy. You have the Lost Wind to negate effects. And then you can also just go ahead and summon out these 2 as level 5 light monsters, and go ahead and go into Pleiades during your next phase. So we go ahead and draw 1, draw another Cursed Eldland. So our current hand is Cursed Eldland, Cursed Eldland, Cursed Eldland, Golden Land Forever, and the Cursed Eldland right here. So we can go ahead and make Pleiades, activate Pleiades, get rid of a card our opponent controls. And then in the end phase, we have Huaquero's effect to go ahead and activate, and then we still have the Cursed Eldland to go ahead and search out a copy of our Golden Lord for 1600 for 800 life points paid. So you pay 1600 life points, so you should be at 64. And right now you're in a really good position. I mean, realistically, I would just send the Cursed Eldland from here. And go on from there, because then you can have this active, you have your Pleiades active, things like that. So that's gonna be a quick test hand for you guys. If you guys want to see more of this deck, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, guys, and I'll go ahead and do a few more test hands. If you're gonna see me actually duel with this deck in action, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do for you guys. But that's gonna be it for the deck profile, guys, as well as a quick test hand for you guys. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys do enjoy, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for more, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.